Hey, I'm Kylee Anderson. I am a music artist and actress. You can follow me at Kylee_Anderson_. It's Kylee. And I'm releasing my final song on my debut EP, Dollface Diaries, and the song is called Misunderstood, coming out on April 10th. Um, so what is your job and how did you get involved with it?
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker.
I like to know how people get involved with the things they do.
No, I'm a filmmaker, so I'm a narrative director. I graduated from film school not too long ago, and I've just been out in LA for 3 years, freelance and just directing shorts, and I'm trying to get into music videos this year.
Oh my gosh.
So,
we'll have to get connected because I make music and music videos.
Amazing. I love that. But yeah, I went to school in Boston and then I came to LA and was like, okay, I could go to New York, but I feel like LA is really good for entry level kind of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm out here. But how'd you get into music and acting?
Yeah, I started music about a year and a half ago. I've been acting since I was 4 years old. So I grew up in the industry.
Wow.
I had a national commercial career growing up, and then I did Disney for a few years. I was on the show Doc McStuffins, and then more recently I've been doing film. So I just had a movie with Jenna Ortega on Paramount Plus called Winter, Spring, Summer, Fall, and then I have another film coming out later this year called Slay Day to theaters. But the music's newer, so I'm really excited. It's sort of like a passion for me that I've been exploring and getting into.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. And what kind of music do you make?
I make indie pop music. I would say some of my recent songs are more bubblegummy pop, kind of girly, fun. My first EP is actually called Dollface Diaries, so I'm announcing that on April 17th. Nice. My last song on the EP is called Misunderstood, and that's releasing on April 10th. And so it was sort of an experimental debut EP. The first two songs were kind of more dark pop, and then I sort of figured that maybe I wanted some things that are more light and inspiring and happy. So I'm kind of just been experimenting with it and finding what my sound is, and it's been a really fun creative endeavor for me.
Love that. And so speaking of sound, a lot of people first heard you as AMMI on Doc McStuffins. So how did starting in voice acting shape the way you approach performance today, especially now that you're on screen?
Well, because I was doing Disney early on, I became very comfortable in studios with mics and all of that sort of thing, and also being able to manipulate my voice certain ways. So that always helped with music. I also took vocal lessons my entire life as well. So I think all of that kind of played a part in being comfortable and confident doing the things I love. It gave me the skill set to be able to pursue that. And even with the acting too, going to auditions, facing a lot of rejection, all of those sort of things came together and have helped me just keep doing what I love.
Amazing. Winter, spring, summer, or fall that premiered at Tribeca, which is obviously a defining moment for any actor in your career. What was that experience like for you, seeing the film with an audience for the first time and stepping into the space with that kind of cast?
It was my first time going to New York, so that actually was a dream come true for me, going to New York and seeing my face on the big screen. Mm-hmm. And it was really fun. The cast was amazing. I got to work alongside Jenna Ortega. She's so polite and so kind, and that whole experience was literally, it felt like, the Hollywood dream. You go to the red carpet, you go see it in the theaters. So it was one of those moments that I think I'll never forget. My mom was also there with me, so it was really exciting. And yeah, it was a really big marker in my career for me so far.
Amazing. And working with an actress like Jenna Ortega, did you find yourself observing her and taking away anything from the experience of working with someone who's that versed in the industry?
Yes, I am a big yapper when I'm on set, so I am just very talkative and all of that. And I noticed she locks in. When she's on set, she's in it. She'll sit and talk to you, if you'll have a good conversation, but she's very focused and very professional. And I think I took away from that, I don't need to feel like I need to be entertaining people on set or, trying to make friends all the time. I need to really focus, and I think that's one of the biggest things I learned from her. Also, she's just very stoic, and I think things don't seem to get to her. She's very confident, and I really admired that about her, and so I'm trying to be just as confident as Jenna is.
Cool. I'm sure you'll get there.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Transitioning into talking about horror. So Slay Day is coming out later this year, and you're playing Cindy in Slay Day. And so, obviously horror can demand such a different kind of performance than other genres, both physically and emotionally. But what drew you to that project, and what did it allow you to explore that maybe your previous roles didn't?
Well, it actually was a very similar role to the role I had in Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall. Both I played a mean girl in high school. But on this specific character, I got to hit more of my comedic side, which was really fun for me to explore. Growing up, I did commercials and all of that, and I really have loved improv. And so the director that I worked with on Slay Day allowed us to kind of have that freedom to do things how we want. It doesn't have to be so word for word. So that was a new experience for me that I really enjoyed, and I liked being able to kind of tap into that goofy, silly side that I have. Instead of more of a serious role. You would think with horror it'd be like scary, whatever. And I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but it's very fun and funny. So I was surprised to see that a horror movie could be so hilarious.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Would you also do a role that's very serious, dramatic horror?
Yes, definitely. I have done some short films as well where I played more of the serious, scared, that sort of thing. I actually can cry on command, which is awesome for that type of thing. So yeah, I just love acting, being on a set, seeing how everything comes together and all the different people play each part in building an art piece is amazing to me. So any role that I can do where I'm challenging myself is exciting for me.
Now that you're telling stories through both film and music, do you feel like those are separate creative outlets, or are they part of the same world?
I've actually utilized my music to put different characters into the world as well. But they're pieces of me. So each song, I feel like it's its own, I guess you could say, scene from a movie in my movie of life, essentially. So they do come together. I'm playing, more parts that are authentic to myself versus when I'm acting. Obviously I have to play what they ask me to play, but through each character that I'm creating, whether it's in music or acting, I am channeling real experiences that I've experienced and real things that I think people can relate to. So I think it all ties together.
Yeah, definitely. You've also built a strong presence online and even launched your own agency.
Yes.
How intentional have you been about shaping your career beyond traditional acting roles? And also, can you tell us about the agency?
Yeah, I think the social media marketing kind of flows together with the music and acting. It's in this day and age in the acting world, a lot of roles are going to influencers and that sort of thing, which can be hard. It's already hard enough in the industry, but it has allowed another creative outlet for me in that I'm helping other brands build and, find exposure, helping other influencers share their art and their things. So I think the three things that I've chosen to do, I find so much passion in them. And yeah, my agency, Digital Artisans, has been amazing for allowing me to give back to other people instead of just necessarily growing myself. I'm helping other people learn how to grow, and in turn I'm learning a lot on how to help myself grow. So it all just flows. It's like an ecosystem. Yeah. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I love thinking about it like that. Looking ahead, whether it's acting, music, or something we haven't seen yet, what feels like the next chapter for you?
The next chapter would be, I want to do more films. That's honestly, after the last two movies I did, waking up every day and being able to be on a set, that's the dream for me, as well as just continuing to make music that I think people can relate to and can feel a piece of themselves in. I think, with my song Misunderstood, it talks about the bullying. I went through two phases in my life where I experienced a lot of online hate, a lot of bullying from people around me and things, and feeling completely misunderstood. And so I have a line in the song. It says, everybody's drowning no matter what they say, so who the hell is counting? Just smile anyway. And I think that's the core message of just my life and where I'm going now is no matter what hard things come my way, I'm just going to keep smiling and keep helping other people do the same thing.
I love it. Who are some of your influences or people you look up to?
Actually, in the beginning with my music, it was Billie Eilish. I really like, how she connects with the way she sings, but also the things that she writes about, I felt like are so real, and I wanted to do that as well. And more recently, sound-wise, I love Sabrina Carpenter. She just brings like that light, happy, positive atmosphere. So both those two people have inspired a lot of what I do, and also the Beach Boys inspire some of my sound as well. I kind of like that beachy, happy. It brings me back to that time in life where everything just is flowing, and so I kind of want to bring that sound back into the world right now.
Okay, cool. And so your debut single, Vixen,
Yes.
that introduced people to a really distinct tone and perspective into your personality. What did that song represent to you personally, and what did you want people to understand about you?
Yes, so Vixen and my other song, King of the Hill, or during a time when I was going through a big faith crisis in my life. I grew up LDS, and at that, my whole life, that had dictated choices I make, from what I wear to what I eat to different things, like who I'm dating, everything. And that faith crisis kind of led to a little bit of an identity crisis and some deep depression for me. And I went through this phase to figuring out, who am I? Who is Kylee? And taking a stand on that. And it was sort of, I wanted to encapsulate that feeling of rebellion and that feeling of breaking free and growing from something that maybe isn't serving you any longer. And so for me, Vixen is stepping into maybe that sexy side of myself that I never got to experience from being such a good girl my whole entire life. And then King of the Hill too, just kind of reclaiming power in who I am and, in the choices that I make for myself.
Okay, I have to ask this. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I would love to be married and have kids, and I would love to be a touring artist, singing for people, playing, inspiring people, and hopefully continuing to do film.
Cool.
And hopefully happy.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Me too. When did you know that you wanted to do, like, film?
So I'm from Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
It's super techy up there, but my dad is really into photography, just as a fun hobby, so he always had cameras lying around the house and was always trying out new technology, and so I was never really interested in the tech side of it. I was always interested in the creative side, but my dad was interested in the actual engineering of cameras, you know? But then I started to play with the cameras and take pictures and do photo shoots and video shoots with my friends, and then my dad was kind of people work and film as a career, and I was wait, really? That seems insane, but I'm down. And then just got super into movies, and I'm just a huge psychological thriller and horror person, so I grew up watching movies I probably shouldn't have seen at such a young age. And then that propelled me to apply to film school.
Well, it's nice that your dad was so, welcoming about that idea. I feel like a lot of people are, when I told my parents, I want to do acting as a career, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
You can, but so it's nice that he even suggested that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it was very nice. What do your parents do?
My mom works at an elementary school, and then my dad was a cop my entire life.
Wow.
So kind of random. Okay. Neither of them, my dad growing up was a child actor, so that is how I kind of got involved with it early on. But it was actually mainly my mom. She was a momager for sure. Okay. Growing up in San Diego, I would actually commute 2 hours twice a week to come to LA, so I had the child actor life for sure.
Okay, wow. Do you remember your very first audition?
I don't remember my very first audition, but I do remember, I have so many memories of commercials that I did. I remember there was this one commercial where they had me sit in a pool of chocolate milk, and it was with another girl, and it's cutthroat in the child acting world, and I remember this little girl kept splashing me in the eyes with the chocolate milk, and I started to cry, and I got cut from the commercial because I couldn't, but the mom had been telling her, splash her, splash her.
Oh my
And so I remember that memory as like, wow, this is like hard. But yeah, and then another one, I did an AT&T commercial where I got to go to Hawaii, and they gave my mom a red convertible Mustang. Ooh. And I just remember feeling like a little princess, and I think that's what solidified my love for acting, is being on set and just getting to experiencing things like that where they're just awesome.
Wow. Do you have like a favorite like set experience ever?
I would say the last movie I did, Slay Day, was probably one of the best set experiences because it just felt like a little family. Everybody was so kind and welcoming. Sometimes on set, people are obviously it's chaotic. People are really stressed, and sometimes it's like, okay, you know that this person's not going to be here very long, whatever. So people don't always get to know each other. But on Slay Day, it was like we were there for so long and so many days that I just got really close with everybody. And we even had like a little wrap party, and it just felt like a family. And so experiences like that are a little more rare, but that's what makes it feel worth it to me too. So
yeah. How long was production?
Total for the movie, I'm not sure, it was a few months, but I went 2 different months.
Okay.
I had to fly to Utah for that.
Okay.
So, which was cool. I used to live in Utah. I lived there for 5 years. I went to school there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I got to visit old friends while I was there and see the snow, which is always nice. But yeah, the snow's like more than half the year, which is terrible. I'm a beach girl. Okay, I need to be near the warm water. I can't be at the snow. So glad I live here now.
Yeah, no, same. Because I went to film school in Boston.
Oh yeah,
which was like great. But it's freezing most of the year, and also like gray. I don't know, is that a thing in Utah where the sun just doesn't come out for like 6 to 8 months, and it's like kind of a vibe because it's like fall and winter, but seasonal depression is real. And also like I was living in a dorm like in college, like it was tough. But also it made like coming back to California like the best ever, so you know, because I feel like if you're in California your entire life, you're just spoiled. Because like you never experience anything worse than that. But if you live somewhere else, then when you come back to California, it's like, wow, okay, this really is the best place, and you really appreciate it.
Yep. Can tan now. Can be happy throughout the whole year. It's great. I love it too.
Yeah. Would you ever have you ever played a festival and like? Is that something that you are aspiring to do? Yeah,
I played a festival in Utah called Americana. It was very fun. It has more of like a country vibe. So it wasn't necessarily the best for my specific type of music. But yeah, the dream is to keep performing. So I would love to do festivals and anywhere I can get.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Would be fun. Yeah, I might even start like singing at the beach where I live.
Ooh, yeah.
Just for fun, for practice, you know? Yeah. Like you see comedians, they go and like practice at little places, so might start doing stuff like that, and we'll see. I think it's in the future this year to keep performing and doing all that. So
say yes to everything.
I know, I do. It's a problem. I say yes to too many things, but yeah, it's always good.
I think it'll serve you well.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I have nothing else to talk about.
I know.
This little set is so cute too.
I know, it is super cute.